Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Here to talk to you about avoiding child support. Now, the first thing you're gonna need is a favorite brand of cigarettes, okay? Or if you don't smoke, do you like milk? If you got milk, you're good, okay? Now, you're gonna need a shitty situation, okay? Usually prompted by a shitty girl. And you couldn't quite throw it in the dumpster or have an abortion, but it's still unwanted, so you want to. Oh God. All right, so obviously I was fucking around with you guys. We're gonna talk about how to avoid knocking a girl up so that you don't run into a situation where you're having a child that you didn't want. I would hope that if you do, I know I have a dark sense of humor, but I would really hope that if you do have a kid, you at least have some presence in its life and help take care of it, even if you didn't want it in the first place, because I have a lot of history in my family of there being abandoning of children, and sometimes for other families. And maybe if this is not the girl you want to have a child with and you want to have, it's just some girl you had a one-night stand with, whatever, I understand, and you want to have a family with a different girl and have children with her, but you should still take care of that child, please. It means a lot to the development of children, and it's something that's quite personal to me. So yeah, good guy Hector. All right, now let's avoid getting into that situation and not knock a girl up. The amount of women that I have came inside of is a lot higher than I'd like to admit, and especially the number of women that I have raw dogged is a lot higher than I would like to admit. It definitely is not the safest thing when it comes to pregnancy or a lot of other things that can happen. I've been very fortunate in my history and have avoided pretty much everything that could have happened badly, but knock on chalkboard. I want to avoid having that problem in the future. So I have some guidelines and some tips that are going to help you to avoid this. So first off, you have pull out. Now, if you do it correctly, the pull-out method will work like 90 to 95% of the time. The only issue is, do you have the discipline to get out of her pussy? Because your urge as a man, as an animal, is gonna be to impregnate her. That's what sex is ultimately about. And it works so well as a reproductive motivation system. Sex is just amazing because it feels so great when you're raw dogging a girl and you're just passionately making love to her and you're getting closer and closer to orgasm and you want to come, and it's really hard to pull out. Sometimes I'll like edge myself the last half second and then just boom, come out, and I'm just like spraying everywhere as I come out. That is not the safest thing. You have to be very disciplined. I'd say you probably know yourself pretty well because you jerked off a lot, I'm assuming, because you're a guy, and a person, because women masturbate a lot too. But guys, we jerk off a lot. And so you know what it feels like when you're about to come. So when you recognize the feeling within like 5, if you really want to be safe, like 10 seconds before you're gonna come, pull out of her pussy and then just jerk yourself off or have her jerk you off or suck your dick. And you want to make that space of, is it too close? Am I going to be dripping a little bit when I come out? You want to avoid that space of time as much as possible and avoid any unwanted probability that you're going to definitely get a girl pregnant, because all it takes, when you're shooting cum, think about it. There's like fucking, hundreds of millions of little guys going on in there. Like, we produce a lot of cum and all it takes is one. Oh, and if you are having sex again after you've come and you're doing it raw dog, even if you pull out, there is a small possibility that there was some semen left in your urethra from the last time you exploded. And when you have pre-cum coming out, which is just your natural lubrication system, it's going to, on its way out, to salivate her vagina with your natural lubrication. It's just a beautiful phrasing. It's going to push out the cum. And so it's very possible that when you're really deep and you're going near her cervix, that pre-cum can come out and it can push out a little bit of semen, and you never know, it could just drip onto her and you could have a baby situation. It's very unlikely, but it is possible. And so if you want to be very, very careful, don't raw dog a girl and then pull out after you've already come within like the past, hour or so. Or you can make sure that you pee every time. Now this is good practice in general. For girls especially, they should be peeing after they have sex to avoid UTIs. Guys having UTIs is much more rare, but it is possible, and it can help to pee after sex just to flush out any bacteria in your dick. And you can also push out the semen, and so you won't have to worry about that. I like to wipe my dick on her a little bit and get the drips out. I know this is very graphic, but these are all safe practices where if I'm gonna raw dog her again, even though I've already come, I'm gonna squeeze like a tube of toothpaste. I'm gonna just squeeze out the cum remaining, and I'll get that one little drop. But you never know, that one little drop could have meant a little fucking Hector or a little Hectorina is gonna be fucking running around in this world, and I'm not ready for that just yet. So pull out, be very careful with it. Now, condoms. Condoms are 95, 97, 98% effective. The only issue you're gonna have is maybe if you come and then you're pulling out and the condom slips off and then starts to leak, if there's a hole, holes are very, very rare. They're gonna only happen if she's dry and there's a lot of friction and then it's gonna rip, or if you're just using really shitty quality condoms. I'd suggest condoms you put some money into them, because if you buy Trojans, especially Magnums are my favorite, they are very, very high quality. They don't sell them here in Europe because everyone has small dicks here, but they do sell decent quality condoms here. So make sure you're buying very high quality, because this is, again, a huge, huge, huge investment, because spending the extra dollar on the higher quality condoms is gonna save you tens of thousands of possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars because you had a kid. So pull out condoms. Then you have, of course, birth control. You have the things where they put the, I almost said the IED. And then you put the explosive into her. Yeah, you don't need suicide bombers anymore. You could just have vagina bombers, they just blow up people's dicks. Okay, birth control. In any form. The only problem with a girl who's not using one of those things, or the chip or whatever fancy shit they have to keep us from having babies, if she's taking the pills, she's going to need to be disciplined with it, because if she misses the day that she needs to, you could be fucked, and that would be not good. And because of her lack of discipline, you have a baby situation. And you never know, now this is super, super rare, but you never know that a girl is saying she's on birth control and she totally fucking isn't, especially if this is a girl that you just met. It's a one-night situation, and especially if you're a high-value guy. For the 1% of guys who are watching this who have a lot of money, a lot of status, something that could be seen as a reward for not getting knocked up by you, they can take your money and your status or your fame or whatever. Please be very careful. You have a lot to lose, and so you want to be extra careful with who you have sex with and the safety measures that you employ to make sure you don't get her knocked up. So pull out condoms if you want 100%. This is 100% if you put them together. So you wear a condom and then you pull out even as you're gonna come. There's the only chance of anything happening is if you not only rip the condom, but also fucking come inside of her. So let's say actually this is 99%. You want to know the 100% method? No sex, okay? Be a fucking virgin, be a fucking incel, no, a voluntary celibate, be a monk, not an incel because that's involuntarily. What would be voluntarily? Incel, so V-cell, voluntarily celibate. Okay, you're a monk, you're a V-cell. Sounds kind of science fiction-y. So have no sex, and you won't have to worry about this. For a lot of you, this isn't a problem because you can't get laid because you fucking suck. But that's why we have this channel, to make you cool, charismatic, sexy, smooth, conversational, outgoing, interesting, edgy, whatever it is that's gonna make you get laid and have girls wet for you. That's what we do here at this channel. So like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we help you get to the situation where you have to worry about this because you're actually having sex with a female human being who actually thinks you're interesting and is possibly, I mean, when a girl has sex with you, what she's really saying is, you know, I could do with one of his kids. I think that would be a nice thing on my wish list. Like, I would like his semen inside of me because deep down, it's about having a baby. And that has a whole host of consequences in terms of how relationships work and how sex and reproduction is the center of sex. But that's a whole nother discussion. But I'm helping you get to this situation. But once you do get to this situation, play it safe, wear a condom, wrap your fucking willy, put a hat on him, however you want to say it, wear a condom, be safe. And then you can take these extra measures to increase the probability that you don't have a kid. And I suggest that you very, very much take these seriously, because I have definitely been at times not so responsible and even think to myself, fuck it, I'll have a kid, you know? She's worth it. This pussy is too good. You know, she's pretty, she's amazing. I'll have a baby with this girl. Make sure that you know exactly what you're thinking when you do that. But hey, if you do knock a girl up, you know, take care of it, provide for it, and I'm sure it'll be better than you think it is. And I've never had the joy of being a father. Maybe one day I will, maybe I won't, not really sure how I feel about it. But it sounds pretty nice, and make sure that you take care of your fucking kids and you don't say you're gonna go get cigarettes and then never return. Don't pull that shit, it's not cool. But avoid the situation by just having safe sex, okay? And avoid the STDs, avoid the pregnancies, but have sex. And the way you get sex is by listening to me and becoming cool and liking the video and subscribing and ringing the bell, and buy all of our shit in the description below. Check out One Date. It teaches you how to meet a girl, get her number, take her on a date, talk to her, seduce her, fucking be a Casanova, take her home, fuck her, and then turn her into a girlfriend if that's what you wish, all in one date. Also, King of College, it's a book that I wrote about social circle and building a reputation and learning how to be the cool guy with all the friends, and all the girls want to have babies with you. So it can be a double-edged sword sometimes, to be completely honest, to be the cool guy. But you want to get there, it's awesome, it's a lot of fun, and I teach you how to do that. It's within a college context in the book, because that's when I learned all this shit, but it applies to the rest of your life, no matter if you're 40, 50, or 80, and you're getting the nursing home honeys all up on your raggedy old wrinkled dick. That's okay, I'll teach you how to do that too. So check it out, King of College, in the description below. And again, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and go fuck it.